Hello and welcome to the Latah Valley Fiber Co podcast. My name is Tiffany. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is February and we have snow for pretty much the first time all winter. So I hope you are enjoying the snow wherever you're at. The snow means I can wear knits, so I'm happy about that. First things first, you can find me on Instagram at Latah Valley Fiber Co. You can follow my shop at latahvalleyfiberco.etsy.com, and if you'd like to direct message me, lvfiberco@gmail.com. I have just a little bit of a shop update, and then we'll move along to finished objects and works in progress. Let's get started. All right, let's start off with a little bit of a shop update. February 1st, put into my shop a couple pink colorways for February, and I also dyed up a colorway for Valentine's Day, and it is this colorway. It's named Be My Valentine 2025, and if you were here last year, I also had a colorway Be My Valentine 2024. These are one of a kind. They're only in my shop for Valentine's Day, although I do have a couple left over from last year, so if you want to check those out, you can. This is the colorway for this year. This is a gray base I dyed black, and then I sprinkled on reds, yellows, and blue. So in my coming up projects, my works in progress, I have a pair of socks that I'm knitting out of this, so you'll get to see what it looks like knit up. So check out my shop if you're interested in that. Also, I have a pretty fabulous sale going on. It's a 30% off sale. It starts tomorrow, the 7th, and it goes through the 15th. So, kind of leading up to Valentine's Day. Also, this is my 3rd year of my business. So, January 26th was when I started my business, Latah Valley Fiber Co. And I'm going into my 3rd year. I can hardly believe that, actually. Time flies. It's amazing. It just keeps ticking by. So there you have it. That's it for shop news. Let's move along to finished objects and what I'm wearing, because they're one and the same. This is the Ingrid Slipover by Petite Knit. And I've been working on this since January. I have worn this. I finished this 10 days ago, and I've worn it nearly every day. It's wonderful. I can have long sleeves. I can have short sleeves like I'm wearing now. It's very comfortable. And I knit this out of Juniper Moon Farms in the colorway, I think it's just a number. Let me find my deets. All right, I started this on January 4th. The colorway is number 13. So, you know, the needle size I used was a 4mm, which was the recommended size. I cast on for the size medium. Now this pattern has a lot of positive ease, and I'm normally a large. However, it had like 8 inches of positive ease, and that's a little much, I thought. So I cast on for the medium, and it's not tight. It definitely has ease. It's very comfortable to wear. I can wear shirts under it. That's what I've been doing anyway. I'm sure it's soft enough that I could wear nothing under it, but at this point it's winter and I'm wearing shirts. So I cast on 96 stitches, again for the size medium. I followed the pattern except for the bind off on the neck and the sleeves because I was running out of yarn. I had like 5 grams left. It was very minute. So I think she does an Italian bind off, and I was doing the hem on the bottom and noticed that, ooh, I'm using up a lot of yarn for this bind off. I'm not going to have enough to do the neck and the sleeves. So I just did a regular stretchy bind off for that. So I cast on 1/4, I cast off 1/22. This was so much fun. There's several different patterns that are happening in the Slipover, so it was very engaging. It was very, you know, if you've knit a petite knit pattern, she's very clear on her patterns. You just have to follow them step by step. They're amazing. In fact, I love this one so much, I'm casting on another one of her patterns, which will be in works in progress. So stay tuned for that. So this is a complete object and what I'm wearing, the Ingrid Slipover by Petite Knit. Now I have noticed in going through her patterns, she does have a couple, she has a sweater, a pullover with sleeves that the motifs look very similar. I'm trying to think of what that one's called. Maybe I'll put it here, and you can look it up as well. So, very fun pattern. Okay, the next one I have finished is a pair of socks. And this is the Colorwork Cuff Club for January. I have 2 of them here. And these are for the patterns by Summer Lee Designs. This is her Colorwork Cuff Club. She's doing it from August 2024 to July 2025. I think those are the dates on that. She releases a new pattern, Colorwork pattern up here, every month, starting on the 1st actually. So the yarn I used was Socksia. My husband had gifted this for me for Christmas. So this colorway is Obsidian and this colorway is Sugalite. And then the Colorwork part is a scrap that I had left over from another pair of socks. So I used my standard 2.25 millimeter. I started with circular needles and then quickly made a yarn vomit mess. And so I pulled them off the circular needles, and then one was on a circular, one was on a DPN. And the balls were much more manageable that way. So I cast on my standard 64 stitches at the top. I did a 1-inch cuff, and then I knit 10 rounds, I think, before I started. I didn't write that down. 10 rounds before I started the color work. And I did a standard heel flap and gusset, which I have found fits my foot very nicely. I'm excited to wear these socks. So I started these on the 8th and I finished them on the 28th. It took me a little longer because I was distracted with other things. So that is my second finished object. I have another pair of socks, which I don't have with me, so I'm going to put a picture here. I did take that. It's another pair of socks, and these were for my mother-in-law. I cast on 122, and they're just a shorty pair of vanilla socks. She loved the first pair a lot, so I knit her up another one. I used Malabrigo Ultimate Sock in the Gris colorway. I did my standard 2.25 millimeters DPNs, and I cast on 64 stitches. I knit the cuff for 1.5 inches, and then I did modify this from the previous pair that I knit her because I noticed at Christmas time they weren't straight on her ankle. They tilted this way, and so on her heel they were kind of sagging down, and I didn't like that. I thought it was a very poor fit. So instead of knitting 2 rounds, I knit 5 rounds before I started the heel, and then instead of a 2-inch heel flap, I did a 2.5 inch heel flap to kind of bring that up a little bit. And then I knit, 6.5 inches and then started the toe. So I started them 129 or 122 and I finished them 129. And I've gifted those to her already. She loves them. All right, let's talk about my final finished object. And that is, okay, it is a double cable knit headband. And I started this on the 5th and I finished it on the 5th. It was really fast. This is with my own hand-dyed yarn, and it is in bulky weight. So the pattern is by Juniper Thompson or Bromfield's Knitwear. It's a free pattern. I found it on Pinterest. The colorway that I used is steel, and I used a 9mm circular needle, and I cast on 15 stitches. And you just knit back and forth, you do the cable pattern, and then you bind off and sew it together. So pretty easy, and I like it a lot actually. So it's very warm. All right, that is it for finished objects. Let's move along to works in progress. Okay, I have several whips that I'm currently working on. Let's start with the socks first. These are another pair of vanilla Shorty Socks. I started these on January 31st, and I have one completed, and I'm working on the other one. So this is not a pattern, it's just a vanilla sock. The yarn I'm using is the colorway Be My Valentine 2025, and I wanted to see what it looked like worked up. It is beautiful. I actually really like it a lot. It's my standard needle size 2.25. I use DPNs, and I cast on 64 stitches, and I knit the cuff for 1 inch. And then I knit 10 rounds here before starting the heel. Yeah, so here's the first one. And I have the second one. I've turned the heel, and then I'm decreasing along the gusset. Although I think I am done with the decreases. So now, yep, I just need to knit the foot. So it's coming along. Vanilla socks are fast knits, really. And especially if you're doing shorties, they're really fast. So I absolutely love this color. Just those pops of bright yellow, red, and blue are just, they're really fun along with the gray. So those will be done next time because I got stuck on other fun stuff. So, all right. And those socks are for me actually this time. So I'm excited for that. All right. The next work in progress that I have is the Magnolia Bloom by Camilla. And I had this going last time, but I wasn't very far. I have since split for the sleeves. Where is the front? There we go. So I've split for the sleeves, and now I'm just knitting in the round. The patterning for the Magnolia is done. So I need to knit, I think, 11 inches and then do a rib and bind off. So I am using my own hand-dyed yarn for this. This colorway is, I dyed a bit ago, and it's called my Superpower. This is in the shop if you're interested in this lovely gray color. And then I need to attach another ball of the DK that's going with this. So I feel like it is, this is a great color The DK is a little bit darker than this, so it's pulling more black, and this is gray. So I think this marley look is really pretty. Kind of softens that black a little bit. So I am following the pattern. Circular needles, 6mm, and then I can't remember what size I'm doing, but it's the 113 centimeters around the bust area. So, what else? Oh, the needle size, I had to get a special needle, which I talked about in the last vlog. I feel like that is making a very nice fabric. So I'm glad I went ahead and got that instead of trying to figure out how many stitches to add into the sweater to make up the difference. Because I have, it says a 7mm. Yeah. So once you've done this ribbing up here, you move it from a 6mm to a 7mm, and 7 is not super popular here in the States, so I had to get that needle extra from my kit. So that's the Magnolia Bloom. It's very soft. I can't wait to wear it. And I started that on January 22nd, so it's kind of a, you know, I'm just knitting now, so it'll go pretty fast. Okay, the final work in progress that I have is a pattern by Petite Knit, and it is a dress. I've never knit a dress before, and so I'm starting small. I'm doing a kid's dress. I started this on the 4th. It's a pattern by Petite Knit. It's called the Dandelion dress. I'm using my own hand-dyed yarn, and it is in a sport weight, light gray. I had this left over from another project. So the needle size I'm using is 3.25 on the dress. And then I cast on for the third size, which is a 3-4 for a 3-year-old to a 4-year-old, which was 78 stitches. So you start up here and you knit and increase until you put the sleeves on hold. And I've knit five rounds or so. 5 rounds or so there. So now I'm doing a pattern, which is the Dandelion pattern on the skirt. So even though the needle size is 2.25, I feel like it's going pretty fast. And with the Magnolia being on the 7mm, when my hands get tired, I just switch to the smaller. So that's kind of fun. This will be for one of my nieces. I'm not sure which one yet. The way that Petite Knit has it down, you can measure the circumference of the child's chest to get the size. And I don't have that capability, so I'm just doing for the age that the child is, and we'll see how that turns out. So this is what I have so far, and it's super fun. I love the Dandelion stitch. It's really sweet. Oh, and it has this detail on the back where a button will go here, and then there'll be a little loop here, so if the child has a bigger head, still be able to fit into the dress, and then you just button it. So anyway, there you go, my first dress. I'm really excited about that one. It's a lot of fun to knit. And I think that's it. It is. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this vlog, and if you did, please like or comment, And that's it for this week. So I'll see you in a couple weeks with another episode. And until then, happy knitting!